Alright, today let's look at baseball in the South Asian countries of Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. This is my third video covering this region. If you haven't seen them yet, you can find my videos about baseball in India and baseball in Pakistan in the upper right corner of your screen. You might think that since I'm putting these two countries together in a single video that the history and development of baseball in those countries runs parallel. Well, they don't. In most parts of the world, you can point to a single point in time where baseball was introduced to the region and the game naturally spilled across borders immediately. Not the case in South Asia. In each country, baseball was introduced and developed independently, and today it's reached different stages of development in each country. In Bangladesh, the sport didn't arrive until 2006, meaning that Bangladeshi baseball is one of the youngest national baseball programs in the world. In that year, Aminul Islam Liton started a training camp for under 15 boys. Soon after, Hiroki Watanabe, a Japanese man living in Bangladesh, volunteered as coach, a role he still fills today. In 2009, the Bangladesh Baseball-Softball Association was formed, and the country's first national baseball tournament took place. This means that organized baseball has only existed in the country for 12 years. In 2018, the Bangladesh national baseball team made their first international appearance when they placed third in the President's Cup in Guwahati, India. In 2019, they participated in the West Asia Cup, placing fifth behind four countries that have been playing baseball a lot longer than Bangladesh has. One of those countries was Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan baseball was born in 1985 when it was introduced by members of the U.S. Embassy there. 4 teams were organized. The first tournament was played that year, and that tournament soon became an annual event. By 1992, 10 schools in the country had baseball teams. In the early 90s, junior baseball players from Japan toured Sri Lanka, playing games in Colombo and Kandy. In 1995, the Sri Lankan team was invited to take part in the first ever Asian Baseball Cup in the Philippines. And from there they became a regular in international baseball competitions, though it would be more than a decade before they started recording any real achievements. In 2009 they won bronze at the Asian Baseball Cup in Thailand. In 2013 they claimed silver at the West Asia Cup in Pakistan, losing 3-0 to the host, but beating Nepal and Afghanistan by a combined score of 32-0. At the 2017 edition of the West Asia Cup, they beat Iran and Nepal by a combined 33-0. In the finals, they upset Pakistan 4-2 to claim gold for the first time. The next cup took place in 2019, in Sri Lanka. As other countries were making a lot of progress in their baseball development, Sri Lanka wasn't able to run up the score like they had been doing. But they managed to win all 4 games they played, including a 5-4 win, once again over Pakistan in the finals, proving that their 2017 title was no fluke. So, given the different histories of baseball in these two countries, it should come as no surprise that they're in different places today. Sri Lanka is currently ranked 37th in the WBSC World Rankings, second highest in South Asia. Bangladesh is 79th. Bangladesh has yet to establish a women's national team. Sri Lanka has one, though it's unranked at this time. In December of 2012, the Japan-Sri Lanka Friendship Baseball Ground opened, the first baseball-specific stadium in the country, and this is where the 2019 West Asia Baseball Cup was held. In Bangladesh, they're still using fields meant for completely different sports, so it's hard for them to develop the proper fielding skills for international competitions, and the risk of injury is greater. Bangladeshi players cite a lack of sponsorship as a reason for the absence of proper facilities, but the same is true in all countries in this region. Their short history is probably more to blame. Only 15 years after the sport was first introduced, they've actually made a lot of progress, establishing a national team, competing in and winning some international matches, growing the number of players involved, and slowly spreading the game to other regions of the country. Sand Angel Baseball Academy, the first of its kind in Bangladesh, is expected to open in the very near future. They're already taking steps for admission and training. An official announcement is due soon. Their goals for the future include participating in age-level World Cups, introducing the sport to all areas of Bangladesh, having a stadium built specifically for baseball, and eventually founding a competitive national league. Right now they're the 5th highest ranked country in the region. They're 79th in the world. India is 66th and Iran is 62nd, so those two countries are not too far ahead. Bangladesh can realistically hope to knock off those two and become the number 3 team in South Asia, but they've got no time to lose because India and Iran, as well as Pakistan and Sri Lanka, are making quick progress too. Sri Lanka is ranked 37th, 13 places behind Pakistan, and they've already beaten them in the last 2 West Asia Baseball Cups. The next step is to overtake Pakistan in the ranking and earn a spot in the WBC qualifiers. About 4,500 Sri Lankans actively play baseball. 30 clubs are playing in their national league. 28 schools take part in the schools tournament. It's played in most universities and is included in the country's annual University Games. It's mostly played in 3 districts, including Colombo, the capital and largest city. The Sri Lanka Baseball Softball Association president, Fazil Hussain, is hoping to reach all parts of the island in the next few years and turn Sri Lanka into a baseball power. Throughout the region, cricket is the top sport, so newcomers to the game here have several advantages over those in other parts of the world. Anyone who's played cricket doesn't need to be taught how to throw and catch properly, and a lot of the fielding and batting skills carry over too. This is what gives Bangladesh a lot of potential. With a population of 163 million, 8th largest in the world, that's a large pool to draw from, especially when most of them already have some of those basic skills before they even begin playing baseball. And baseball in Bangladesh enjoys its greatest popularity among cricketers who take it up during cricket's off-season. In a country where millions play cricket, getting thousands of them to try playing baseball in the off-season, and finding a few hundred of the best talented ones to specialize in baseball, is easily achievable. Sri Lanka, unlike its neighbors, doesn't have a huge population. At around 22 million people, it's about the same size as Taiwan, so it does have enough people to become a world baseball power. Another advantage in Sri Lanka is their long history with the game of Ella, a bat and ball game that goes back over 100 years and is very similar to softball. Since all children on the island are familiar with this game, the transition to baseball would be even easier than in neighboring countries. The next West Asia Baseball Cup is scheduled to take place in July of 2021 in Iran, just a few months from now. So we'll find out soon if Sri Lanka can continue their success and win a third straight title, or if Pakistan can take back the title and reassert themselves as the dominant team in the region. Maybe India or the host Iran can sneak into the finals, or perhaps Bangladesh will make it to the top 4. It should be interesting. And that's all for this one. Until next time, this is Baseball International. See ya.